boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and I hope you guys are ready to go. Let's see if I can get some trading view up as you guys are just piling into the room. New share, good. So we can take a look at the SPY, and we got Albert in the house. We got Alex joining us. Good morning, Bill, Brian. We got Brian, Cedric, Chad, Doug D's in the house, Fayaz, Jenny, Greg Hill's in the house. Good morning, Gregory Gilbert. We got Jay, Joe, Matt, Michael, Quantran, Ronald's with us. We got Sam. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Tony, Vanessa, Will, Zelda. We got the squad piling on in. Good morning to everybody at YouTube land. Woo! It's going to be a good day. We'll see what happens because let's go through a few things. let's cover a few things. We closed or just closed at a very crucial spot on the SPY, which is either going to be I know there's going to be counter to it. It's either going to be a day where we break out and we just have another massively bullish day, or the question is, did we run a lot? We are hitting some kind of resistance and we probably get some kind of pullback before we run. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go. We gotta see where the levels are on these charts, because there's a very tight range. So if I go back into the hourly chart, if we can break out, and this is what I mean, like we've got good ranges now in both directions, but if we can break out, I would say this 398.78. Clean off the magic ball. I'm trying. Sometimes the magic ball is made in China though, so I gotta return it. If we could break this 398, I'll go 398.94, somewhere up in that zone. We can get to 399 again, and we can start holding above that level. The next stop on this chart, where I'm really seeing, because there's after that point, there's really not a lot of volume. All right, we start to get into this little area over here where there's not a lot in the way. Especially, I mean, we get past that 400, 413, should be off to the races up until, I would assume, the next spot. I have 413 is my chart, but maybe it's a little bit lower. Maybe we come in closer to 410, 411. I just think 413.56 is the zone I'm targeting. It doesn't mean it has to happen all in one day, obviously. We did move really quick, really fast, but here's the range. So if we start to break down a little bit further under somewhere in this 396.96 zone, and we start holding that, I don't foresee a big pullback, like a big massive pullback, but then we probably do get retraced a little bit further, maybe back down to 393.47. Technically, this is a untested VPOC at this point, so maybe we get back to 390, something like that, 391. Until we break out of this little range, where's that little pen? I can't really, I mean, on the one hand, there's nothing yet bearish, at least on the charts, but until we break out of this little volume range, it's going to be hard to determine, do we go like this or do we retest first, right? I would think big, massive move. People are still kind of worried about the economy. You probably get a retest to some extent. You're probably going to want to have people take profits. And I think we get that pullback is probably more likely. But again, even on those pullbacks, they're not going to be, I don't think we see a big, massive pullback. There is this gap down here, but again, with all the volume, all the bearers that we trapped, this was going to be probably it's going to take us a while to fill that gap. And we do have on the chart this little bit of a downtrend, which I drew from way back when. That one didn't. I mean, here's our resistance line. We broke. We never really got that retest. Something like that would be a little more hopeful, I think, but we'll have to see. So we have another 25 minutes till this market opens. I'm kind of expecting maybe a little bit of a slower day, at least some kind of a rest period day. I don't think. I mean, we went absolutely crazy Friday. Thursday was nuts. People probably want to, I would assume, again, take some kind of profits, but also I don't really have a reason to go bearish yet, except for just determining, hey, maybe there is a little bit of a pullback. And that would be the only kind of real sentiment that I have for, all right, be careful to the long side, but I mean, I'm also with it too. So I like it. All right, we have the Qs. So again, Qs gapping down a little bit. We have a higher volume area somewhere at, I mean, out of this peak at least 287.88. So again, that's going to have to be the spot that I have to look at. You're not feeling like any of the upper EMAs play much of a factor. I don't. That's a good question, Brandon. I don't. I only see the value. Let's put it this way: I only see the value in EMAs because you see the value in EMAs. Because Yovaris sees value in EMAs. Because Matt R sees value in EMAs. EMAs are they're good, and like I said, it's only because other people see value in it that I have to see value too. They're only telling you all the EMAs are just where the stock has been, and that gives you the average drawn out on your chart. Right. So the only reason, again, to me, the only thing that really affects if a stock is going to go up or down is how much money somebody else actually put on it and what needs to be protected. So all the EMAs, they're not going to tell me where the stock is going to go. It's going to tell me where the stock has been. Right. So if I'm trying to determine where the stock is going to go, I want to look more for volume. I want to look for more of those areas. But again, just the fact that there's so many people looking at EMAs, then they start to become some kind of a target for some people. Some people, if it breaks, it's going to be entries. So because other people are using it, I have to kind of leave it on the screens. But they're all telling us where the stock has been, not where the stock is going to go. So I know for the Qs, if we start breaking out of 270, let's say 288, let's say we start holding that 288, again, I'm looking at this volume. Right. So this is where people were, we don't know going bullish bearish, but we know there's a lot of volume at that price. And then as soon as we break that, there's really nothing holding us back up until the next level, which gives us probably 293. So again, not a huge move, but still pretty decent for the Qs. I'm starting to get used to the Qs and the SPYs trading like a Tesla or a Square or tech company. Like they just make massive moves every day now. Which is good for day traders. But again, if we don't ever break out of that 288 or we have trouble, we push back into it, we get rejected. Then to the downside, there's no real volume probably going to take us back until 281.20. So we got a little bit more downside potential, and if the selling picks up, it will feel like pretty big. But again, this is a big, massive move we've had over the last few days since really that Thursday CPI. We probably have to retest it a little bit, I would assume. And then I think buying the dip is still valid, still on the table. So right now, I'm not short anything. I cleared out all shorts, went long everything right before CPI. Just because I was looking at the charts and I'm like, I don't know. I kind of think that the CPI is going to be good. Again, I said, I was looking at more of the used car sales, and I'm like, all right, the prices have come down a little bit. Energy is still kind of flat. And I was like, this one could be so I was like, I'm just going to take shorts off the table at this point. Worst case, I'll play pre-market. If I'm wrong, I'll get out a bunch of stuff, start shorting a bunch of stuff, but no need for that. And then we kind of broke out of the channel. We do have a good looking, again, is this the bottom for the year? I don't know. I kind of think so, though. But we do have a nice little double bottom. We do have higher lows in here. We have a little bit of a neckline here, right? So could this happen? Probably. I think this would be some kind of support, but we'll have to see. So again, at least at the open, yes, it's a gap down. It is inside from Friday for both the Qs and the SPY. But Michael Holt's saying a monthly hammer on the Qs and the SPY. let's see, monthly hammer. Yeah, but if you're using this one, there's still like, I don't know, 18 more days left of the month. So right now it is, but that could look very different in 18 days. So just be careful on that one. This doesn't decent high wave. So again, double bottom. At least if we're looking at the monthly chart, we do have a wick down here. So that tells me that there is at least some type of bear trap in the market. And again, if that breaks, we flush, probably heavy. But for right now, we are kind of holding at least last month's candles closed. So that's in the history books. This one, it does look very hammerish. I 100% see that. And this all could just be one big retest after relatively negative close on this month, right? And there's no wick, no nothing, very bearish. Closing below that green candle. This could be, honestly, still some kind of just big retest. And then this happens. But this candle would still have to close like this. And then next month, maybe. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think there's still, I mean, don't get it wrong. Like, don't get it twisted. There's still a lot of, like, we had a good inflation report, but that is one report. Jerome Powell still has a target of 2% inflation rate. He is still way off of that rate. And if we get another report that comes out and it was just a 1 month thing, yeah, you can see the markets definitely take a dive. But if we can start, we need probably about 2 more quarters to really say, okay, inflation, the Fed's actually got this thing under control, or the rates that they're hiking is starting to actually work, and you're seeing some kind of results. But you still need, and Jerome Powell he's already said he has no issues over doing it into the market. He rather overdo it than underdo it. In YouTube, can do Aussie against USD. I could. Let me run through these first. I don't do too much of the Forex as much, so I'd have to pull it up and take a look. Tesla, we got, again, inside day. So at least for our purpose of 10 EMA, we're going to have to probably sit on hands at the open, which again, I think the open is going to be a little tight range, probably some wicks back and forth, and I'm guessing some traps out of the gate. That would be my guess. But sitting on my hands on Tesla, I'm perfectly okay with that. Let me just go back to that Tesla real quick. So here's a 10 EMA that we could get. Again, a little resistance. It's $200.67. Gapping below the open a little bit. Again, just tight range. So here's our 2 VPOCs that we're in. If you want to go long, you probably have to wait. Honestly, I think we could probably get a retest down to like 190.85 would be a good spot. Maybe even a little bit lower. 189.31 would be a great spot. Throw some kind of stop. 182.38 if you're going long. Otherwise, you got to get up to the highs of the day, or the previous VPOC 195.01, and stop's got to be somewhere about 199.50. So gives you a little bit of a range on that, but we'll see. Again, just I think a rest day in a worst case is probably needed. All right, we got AMD. So this one is gapping up. We will have the opportunity to play this one. This should be a retest gap to the downside, or for that retest. I'm looking for potentially 72.71. And then we have a little bit of resistance up this 75, let's call it $76. So we do have some kind of resistance. I do think on this one, because of all the resistance that's coming in here, you are going to have a better risk reward probably to the downside playing that retest with 10 EMA. I don't think I will be able to, just because we're going to have we're on the wrong side of the 10 EMA to go short on this one. So for me, I'd have to probably wait for the full on retest. And then probably look to maybe get it some kind of a bounce. But this is a spot on AMD where I think we get good risk reward, even if you have some kind of longer term play. Stops at $79. I think we also have, if I'm not wrong, Well, if I'm not wrong, I'm right. I think that's how it could. I don't think I could be neutral, but yep. So we do have we do have earnings coming out on Nvidia this week. The 16th. When's that? I don't even know what today is. The 14th. So we got 2 more days. So Wednesday we have Nvidia earnings. Be careful if you're in AMD. Just understand that AMD is going to move with Nvidia. I don't know if they beat. I don't know if they miss. I don't know if it matters, but you'll probably start getting some kind of profit taking. This looks like a good cup and handle, but you'll probably get some profit taking, I would assume, into it, especially as we're getting to a little bit of resistance. We still have some ways to go in a bullish direction on it, 172.59. But keep in mind, AMD will get affected by NVIDIA, and NVIDIA right now out of the gate is inside candle. So again, can't play too much on it. Albert's saying BABA. We could definitely take a look at BABA. This dotted line, by the way, this is a much bigger high volume area in a longer time basis. So we're sitting right at that for now. And I think we're opening, to me, it looks like exactly on that line, slightly under. So again, maybe that pullback comes in. This would be a good retest of that little VPOC over here. We still have one more up at 153.34. I think at some point that one has to hit. But yeah, I can see a little pullback. Again, I don't see, unless some news comes out or something to help push the market, I think we do see it probably a little bit of a rest day. To me, that's going to tell me take profits quicker, move stops a little quicker, get in, get out, and try to avoid the traps in either direction. Amazon, same type of thing, slight little resistance. If at some point 102.21 breaks, that takes my next target up to 111.60. I'll go 111. I'll even go lower, 111.20. So watch that range, 102.39, because then we do have a good potential breakout on Amazon, and I do think it could possibly run up to that 111. And then we got Delta, the mighty Delta. These guys have been very, very difficult to trade, in my opinion. We probably still have a little bit more room in a bullish direction. Right now we are gapping, pretty much gapping down. This would be a retest, and again, I think we get some kind of inside day or pullback or something. Nothing too crazy. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Take a look at BABA and Lockheed Martin. BABA is a gap and go. Again, we're gonna have a little bit of resistance starting to come in, but that is a good gap and go. 1, 2, this could be 3. Let me just see one thing on this. So we get a little downtrend. All right, so there's our downtrends. We did break. This was the retest. That gap and go looks good. So yeah, I'd probably take this one. I'll actually watch this one pretty closely. At open for BABA, we might get some buying. We already broke out. We already retested. Again, targets would be the issue with this one. How far can we go? I think we could probably get to 76.15. And if we start breaking out of that, maybe 78.64. Today, I don't know, but even on Friday, we did have a little bit of increased volume. So we should be trapping some additional people. And I do like the fact that we're above 72.46, which would be that VPOC right there. So that's definitely one to keep on the watch. Might be a decent gap and go. Lockheed Martin. These guys did not have a good day on Friday. What happened, Lockheed? In this case, again, I mean, these guys just ran like crazy. So even before it was cool to run like crazy, these guys were on top of it. But we probably got to look at some kind of pullback. So first stop, I would say probably somewhere in the 454.64. And then I'll be watching 441.78 and 4, let's call it 430, 429.18. That would be a 618. So I could definitely see something like this. And probably I think we get that 50. I don't know if we get that 618. We'll see. But some kind of a bounce here would make sense. And then I don't know if we're going higher or lower, but I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside day, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row. A lot of just consolidation. Here's our gap down. I would say the direction for this one, you're probably going to get some lower moves, lower prices on Lockheed coming in. And Lockheed is a little bit of a, I guess it's a little bit of a safety play too, because it's, again, massive company, already ran up like crazy, and you probably has to pull back, rest. I wouldn't say it's bearish, but it would be bearish probably next few days. Wait for those pullbacks. If you want to go long, I prefer 441 and 429 on Lockheed Martin. All right, let me see if I could do AUS, USD. Here's another one we could probably reverse fib. Do something like this. So if this is our fib, that would be our 618. Starting from that little pivot. If we want to extend this one out a little bit, we're probably looking at, you're sitting roughly at or slightly above the 50. Probably final targets on this one would come into that 618, which is about 67,812. Before probably some kind of a retest, but watch this 66.70 very closely. Right now it looks, it wouldn't really be a 3-bar play specifically. That should have happened here, but pretty bullish, having a little bit of a rest candle. So if you're going to take this one and you want to take it bullish, I would take it 67,177. Probably have some kind of a stop down at 65,718. I don't think there's too much room yet before we get a little bit of a bigger pullback. So targets for me would have to be 67,808. Xpev. We got Xpev. So we got a little bit of a double bottom, good volume on that breakout. We are gapping. This is a retest. You're above a lot of VPOCs. I do like that double bottom, and that volume on that breakout looks good. But that volume right now tells me this is probably going to be a little bit of a stronger retest. That's just that many more people being profitable. I do love the fact you're getting above that little wick. I would say immediate targets on this one somewhere around 952. So it's about 52 cents the upside. I don't think Xpev moves as crazy, but here you do have a good double bottom on something that has been absolutely getting just taken out back and beaten with a sack of nickels. Yeah. This is a company that I think, longer term probably fades. Here's some longer term volume though. And with this little support that came in here, you do have one little spot that's going to be somewhere up at maybe $15.23. So if you're swing trading it, I think it looks good, but I think today at open, you probably have to get a pullback. I don't really day trade Xpev too much. What is this little dinosaur thing? What is anybody know that? I'm so confused what this thing is. It's the end. Oh, I don't. Beginning of time. That's where it started. Okay. I was like, I don't know. It's witchcraft. All right, we got, so yeah, longer term, you could actually have a good swing trade on this one because there's, again, not a lot of volume. I do like where we're opening, but for entry, see if we get a little bit of a pullback, but that does look very, very interesting for a potential swing. There's not a lot in the way to keep it from the upside. And it has, I'm sure if I throw this onto Thinkorswim, it's probably a little bit on the oversold. Hover over it, it will tell you. No, it just lights up. I'm gonna click the dinosaur. Oh, there we go. This is the very beginning. You've made it all the way through the available data. All right. I thought I had to get a pet dinosaur or something. I was like, that's too much responsibilities. I got to feed this thing once a day. I don't even know if they eat trees, but some of them, I've seen Jurassic Park. I don't know. All right. So we got 3 more minutes to the opening bell. Let's run through. Let's see, Boeing has been obviously having a outrageous run. These guys will probably pull back if Lockheed does. So I think more of the play on the Boeing is just sympathy for Lockheed, but it does have a good double bottom. Again, this probably does come back for some kind of retest. I don't really want to go too bullish on things until we get some kind of retest after the moves that we made. Coinbase, obviously, crypto is in shambles. You got all eyes now focusing on crypto.com after the broken down FTX. So they're making some kind of red flag moves. I think they accidentally, I don't know how you do this, but they accidentally transferred $400 million into the wrong account. But then they came out with a statement saying that it's all good. Was it 400 million or 400 billion or 4 billion or something? I think it was 400 million. Why you're like, it was all from stable coins. So why you're transferring stable coins in the first place? I don't know why anyone's not asking that question, but definitely some red flags. And crypto.com is the next one, at least on the heavy watch list. We'll see what happens with that. But obviously with all the crypto news, Coinbase probably getting affected. Bitcoin's actually up today, I believe, or at least it was 30 minutes ago. It's the Wild West of trading, so who knows at this point. But you are sitting right at the 10 EMA on a daily. Decent little candle on Friday, but again, into some kind of resistance. And today we're opening under yesterday's VPOC. So that one probably, I think, melts down a little bit. I think there's just way too much fear in the crypto market right now. And I think they probably need some regulation, to be honest. PayPal, just having an inside day, nothing too crazy there. Melly, nothing cool. Square, chilling. UAL. This would be a zone I would start looking for a fade. Again, today, right now, inside day, but having some kind of stop at 45, 47 would make a ton of sense, at least on a swing trade basis. See if we get some kind of pullback retest. Probably would have to come to 42.54. So decent little risk reward on that one. All right. Airbnb, again, little gap down, still inside day. JP Morgan got 48 seconds left. JP Morgan. A little bit of a doji. This one will actually have some room to fade. So watch JPM. Really anything that starts if we start getting candles that close below 134.70, this one's got a decent amount of room, at least back to 130, 143. So possible $2 on that one. Obviously looks strong. So scalping, counter trends, just be careful. And we only got 14 more seconds left. All right, everybody, YouTube land, I do appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure if you have not already, go to reallifetrading.com. We do have free, like zero. It's free 99. Go check it out. We do have beginner, intermediate, and advanced courses. We also do have mentor groups, one-on-one coaching, and of course, I do have to end the day for YouTube here, but you guys are more than welcome to join us each and every day. We do have all access pass, and we're literally live until 6 p.m. Eastern. That is 2 hours after the market closes. Make sure on the way out, you guys hit the like button, you hit subscribe as well. Stay in touch with all the latest content. And again, we will see and catch